It's stage 6 of the Giro d'Italia. The Corsa Rosa has made its way back to the mainland of Italy. We're going from Palmi to Scalea today, and are you ready to rock and roll for another sprint finish of this Giro d'Italia? Welcome back to the Cycling Danes live coverage and live commentaries of this year's Giro d'Italia. This is stage 7 of the race. Very excited to see what is on offer here as we roll through Calabria, heading up northwards. Along the Tyrrhenian Sea, we've been next to it for most of today's stage. And we have 76 kilometers remaining of this stage. We have one lone rider up in the breakaway. That would be Diego Rosa of Eolo Cometa, the Italian-Hungarian squad, brought to you by prepackaged meat. And Alberto Contador, let's not forget. Rosa up here, number 109. 3 minutes and 48 seconds behind. You can find the peloton. Currently being managed by Lotto Soudal, looking to find Caleb Ewan a stage win. He's had to wait a long time to get his stage win so far. We thought he might be able to get out on stage 3. Didn't happen. He was dropped yesterday on the way into Messina. But today it proposes something very different. Let's talk about yesterday's stage. Arnaud Démare taking the victory in Messina, Vincenzo Nibali's hometown. We'll get on to Nibali in a bit and talk about what's happening with him. But it's yesterday's sprint with Arnaud Démare looked fantastic. Not quite so great for Fernando Gaviria, who had to sort of apologize. He was cursing at his bike. I'm not sure if he quite uttered the iconic words of Fabio Aru of Cazzo di Bici, but it was certainly something along those lines. He couldn't quite shift down to the gear he wanted for the final sprint. And Gaviria had to settle for the silver medal. 75.5 kilometers to go in this race. The breakaway on their own, Diego Rosa. What does he think about on a day like today? He's been out here on his own, not really doing anything. It is a lonesome day. He's a lonely day, you could say. Up here, alone with his thoughts. Diego Rosa, fantastic rider. Diego Rosa, he has taken part in the Tour de France on 2 occasions. Back in 2020 was the last one, when he abandoned on stage 8. On that edition, he was riding for Arkea Samsic, rather. This is his fourth Giro d'Italia taking place. He's taken part in a number of editions and been to 2 Volta a Spagnas. We're heading down the Calabrian coast on the Tyrrhenian Sea, the most westerly sea of Italy. We have the 2, of course. We have the iconic Tirreno Adriatico, which navigates both seas, usually ending in San Benedetto del Tronto on the Adriatic coast. We will be going to the Adriatic coast later on. Stage number 11, I believe, is the most sort of Adriatic stage. Not much going on, just sort of following the sea for as long as possible. We've got a split screen here between Cavendish, Caleb Ewan, and Arnaud Démare. Yesterday's stage winner and the man who is wearing the Maglia Ciclamino, the points jersey, the Cyclamin jersey of this Giro d'Italia. Caleb Ewan wants that jersey, as does Mark Cavendish, looking for stage win number 2 for Cavendish. Démare already on a stage win. Caleb Ewan yet to score a stage win on the points. If you're wondering who is in the Maglia Rosa, the pink jersey today, that would be the Spaniard Juanpe Lopez, who is riding for Trek Segafredo. Trek Segafredo, important for them to stay. To keep their man out of bother, out of danger, out of sight. He's just got to stay calm here. We're finding out what some of his favorite things are. His favorite travel destination would be Africa. His sport legend is Joaquin. He speaks English and Spanish. His favorite film is Silence of the Lambs. And his food is his mother's food. Isn't that such a nice answer for the man from Spain? Number 204 began with with Alberto Contador's team. Actually rode for Eolo Cometa back when they were just called Cometa back in 2019. A number of good riders on that team as well. Stefano Oldani, who was in the breakaway with them the other day. Would have been good for them to have a catch-up in the break. But Trek Segafredo here, riding for the man in pink. Juanpe Lopez is just talking now to Antoine Tolhoek, who comes up past him in the peloton. This is Longobardi. We are in Calabria today, on the Italian mainland. We're on the heel of the boot today. Calabria, it's a really, really nice part of the country. I would say often often sort of neglected when people think about Italy. This whole southern part, Basilicata as well, which we're visiting tomorrow. Not many people really think about it. We've only got one Basilicatan rider in this race. That will be Pozzo Vivo. I don't think we have any Calabrian riders in this race. This is the time of day where I look through my list to find out which region everyone's from. There's no riders from Calabria in this Giro d'Italia. We have a number of riders from Sicily, including the Scialca Messina, Salvatore Puccio, as well as Pippo Fiorelli of Bardiani. But Calabria, yep, the average GDP here, just €17,000. Very high on the human development index. Actually, ranks, well, it's the second last in terms of Italy, behind Sicilia. And Calabria is, I mean, sort of the last part of Italy you think about if you exclude Sicily, but 72 kilometers to go. It is Diego Rosa up here in the breakaway. He's from, I mean, as far away as possible from Sicily. He's from Alba, which is not far away, from the mountains in Piemonte, where we started last year's Giro d'Italia. Currently, interesting thing in Piedmont right now is the Eurovision Song Contest, which will have its second semi-final today. So let me know if you're going to be watching that tonight and who you think is going to win the Eurovision Song Contest. Currently taking place in Turin. So I guess it's my other passion besides cycling. Maybe one day the two will meet. Nevertheless, we're looking at the peloton. This is Clément David of France, making his Giro d'Italia debut at the front of the peloton. Behind him is Peter Seri of Belgium, who's riding for the Quick-Step Alpha Final, the Belgian team in the white and blue with the little purple accent. Starting to like that jersey the later we get into the season. Quick-Step Alpha Final, by the way. What are they going to do when they come to the Tour de France? Is it going to be a stage victory for Mark Cavendish there to get the record, or will we see the man from the Netherlands, Fabio Jakobsen, become their leader and try to get that green jersey? I think Jakobsen's the favourite for green. You know, this coming up in the Tour de France. Currently live as well, the Tour of Hungary. If you couldn't get enough of Hungary, there's more to watch, plenty more to see. Yesterday, the stage was won by Olaf Koy, but we're going to see Jakobsen, the man I just mentioned. He's going to be in action there, battling out with Groenewegen, who, I mean, those two, a bit of a rocky relationship between the two of them. I'm sure you know why. Groenewegen did publicly apologize to Fabio Jakobsen, cried as well on Dutch television when interrogated by a journalist. But